as thrilling as Bozo Chess 06 versus Rapid Capybara. So briefly taking a look at the stats on this game and how this game played out, it seems like we were in a deadlock position for an extended amount of this game, and it came down to literally one mistake that was made by one party, and with flawless precision a brilliant was sniped, and then a relentless fight for another extended period match. But it was just inevitable, as that one gap, that one small step that was taken with that brilliant snipe of precision was enough to cause another deadlock in the position, but with the slight advantage ultimately crumbling his position in the end, leading to a win. And 1 hour of stream, bet. Let us enter the realm of chess. Deadlock Chess. So we've got Rapid Capybara starting with D4, immediately grabbing space in the center, not playing your traditional E4. And I know what you're thinking, how can a game such as aggressive and such as tactically bound as D4 end in a deadlock position? And you will find out, you will see. And we get F6, not an immediate attack on the center, but we're just controlling. So it appears white is kind of showing their cards, really putting the sword out, and black is holding their shield but not deciding to engage in any clashes, still feeling out, still looking for parries, still kind of just feeling the field. So we get another sharp move, F4, bishop to F4 specifically, really gaining control of the center and quick. We have G6 from black, looking to probably just fianchetto that bishop. White further anchoring that bishop outwards. You know, there's no bringing this back ever. He is fully committed to his attack, and he's also looking to bring more pieces out as fast as possible and just flood the gates. These are all book moves. We get a bishop fianchetto by black by Bozo Chess. Very interesting move. I definitely thought that he was probably just going to develop his knight to the average square of c3, but we get a pawn to c3, and not even a pawn to c4. We just get kind of a slower pawn to c3, which is still deemed a pretty good move. We get castle, we get knight develop inward, which I guess this also gives more freedom to bring the knight to one of these squares to take control of the center, and just kind of get some action going on, kind of get some fight going on. So we get pawn to d6, and I believe we're in a what is this, a perk defense or a modern defense? You can correct me if you need to, but I believe this is a perk or a modern defense. I don't think it's the King's Indian. I think because of d6 it is the perk or the modern. And we get knight to gf3. Very strong game, and this is our first lash out by black, really sniping that bishop on the diagonal. But do not get too alarmed by said move, because while it does pin the knight to the queen, we have further reinforcements. As he brought his knight to the center, he could also just slip the bishop over and obviously look the castle. So this move doesn't really pose too much of a threat, but it does enforce that I am here and I am here in the game, and you will feel my presence. You will feel my presence. This is not all about defense. If you make the wrong move, you will pay. And that's kind of the message that black sent early on, and you saw it later on, man. So he decides to bring the queen all the way out. We get a takes. We get some trades going on this. Now we get pawn to b6. We get a bishop coming all the way out. So now we got this strong diagonal looking to eye down this pawn. We got a spear pointing right at the f7 pawn. So now we can't get moves like rook come over and e5 or anything like this, even though e5 is protected by all of these three pieces. But maybe the knight were to come out, attacking this bishop, trying to undermine it and push it for that. But now, no more of that funny business. White is looking to nip that in the bud early. So we get an e6 instead. Very strong play. It's reinforced by this pawn too. So now maybe even a move like this, looking to reinforce the center and kick this bishop. So we get g5. kind of a counter to what he did there, where he was where we had black pinning the bishop, relative pinning to the queen. We have now a similar move, very common in chess, and he does finish with his idea of playing d5 immediately. Bishop simply just comes back to d3, and now we get a full move, and now we are seeing the true intentions of black. We start off with the shield. We start off kind of ducking and dodging, really bringing white to you, wanting white to show you all their cards. Then boom, we throw a little bait out there. We throw a little spear just to tempt white, get white a little bit on their toes, and then we pull back once again, you know, make white really commit, like, okay, is that all you got? And then boom, we just kind of hit you with the combos with black. Boom, we get d5. Boom, we got c5. Now we're really looking to take control of this game and really show you what we're about, because something as simple as like pawn takes, and if you play a slow move, I don't know, like taking here or we could take here, but you play a slow move like here, or even castlings, now you're getting your queen and your bishop forked, and we got a nice square for the knight to come to the game too. So just like that, black is showing their true colors and what's really about to go down this game. And mind you, if we take a look at the time, all of this was played pretty fast too. The whole first start of the game was played in less than a minute by 2 parties combined. We get queen sliding back here, and now we get a pawn push to c4. Black is spreading their wings. Look at this pawn chain right here, and just to see how black started the game too, would barely bring any of their pieces out. This was the position right here where we had white had this knight, the center reinforced this knight, this bishop really committed, like committed. This queen looking to attack this pawn, and all of these pieces are back here. And now fast forward just a few moves ahead, we have black taking control of all this space. It's almost like white made none of those moves before, and that is just the nature of the shield and the sword, this deadlock position, because this is not over. This is not the it. e2. Then we have knight coming in, so kind of mimics what white did with bringing the knight in. Black brings their knight in as well. We get a castle. Queen comes over, c7. Really calm moves. Black is seen. It appears that black is not kind of looking to deliver any knockout blows or play anything too crazy. Like black understands, boom, it's my time to take space. Now let's take a breath, let's calm down, and let's play resilient, because the game is not won, the game is not over. And white is doing a good job as well. White, you know, white was lashing out, going hard, and now white is like, wow, black is kind of taking his attack, taking space, but the game is not over. I'm gonna just wait for my turn to strike, as we have an even position. Rook to e1, rook f to e1. Centralizing the rooks, we get a bishop kick on h6. Bishop comes back to that square. It's been on this square for a majority of the game, actually. He brought it out early, and then for a split second he threatened, hey, you know, I'm a pin, relative pin, but it comes right back. This bishop is the anchor of his position so far. We get a queen coming up to c6, as it wouldn't want to hang it to that bishop. That would be tragic. Bishop coming back to f2. Very interesting. Probably just looking to put more reinforcements on this pawn, as this queen is now eyeing this diagonal down. So if we get some trades, that could just cause problems in the future. That's how I interpret it at the least. Then we get a5. Black is taking up even more space in the center, and this is a very good move. Now we've got knight jumping in. We get a trade of knights, and we have this bishop is now centralized. A very strong position for the bishop, especially if this knight moves. You can take their bishop right here, and the king will just have a lot of empty space going on right here. Knight moves, we get a bishop trade, and the king comes in, but now we have a centralized knight. Knight can easily be kicked at any point though, so it's not really doing too much. And also you can just kind of break up this pawn chain. This is at least what I'm saying could possibly be done. Maybe trying to just break up this pawn chain, push up, and then if this pawn ever takes, it would just undermine this knight. Or no, I mean, this queen is guarding it, but you know, if the queen isn't here, you're just gonna have some complications with this knight. You just gotta keep the continuity within the game. We get a pawn push. This does create a luck for the king. No back rank mates ever anymore, but Are we looking to fan kettle their bishop here? I'm very, very fascinated because it seems like black is slowly poisoning this position. Like all of the work that black has been putting in and all of these like kind of jabs, they've been controlled, but it seems like black is just slowly seeping into a better position, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I honestly think that white can see that because we get a push by black going to a4, and black could probably feel it too as they're trying to take even more space. White plays a3, finally saying, you know what, you've been taking space all game, let's really just push the pawn up and stop that. And then we get f5. This is relentless. This is relentless. This is a deadlock position. This is blow for blow, blow for blow for blow. All their pieces, they're throwing everything they got. They got a knight, trade knights, trade bishops, trade. They'll run out of all their pieces and it'll just be the kings. But I swear, those two kings will be boxing it out to their last breath. It could just be the kings. It won't even be a stalemate. They will find a way to win. One of them will find a way to win. One of those kings. And we get a fan kettle bishop. Queen just simply comes back to c7. I guess it didn't like being on the same diagonal as that bishop. I would hate that as well, so I don't blame him. Then we get f3. Looking at this move for a while now, but we had to do a lot of piece shuffling because knowing me and my low rating, if I would have played that earlier, I probably would have blundered my queen somehow. Not sure how, but it would have happened. So we get some very methodical piece shuffling, and now we get an f3 push as the game is nearing its very, 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 very fatal mislip. Black simply just puts the knight on g5, still keeping the pressure with the knight. And we bring the king to f2. Black pushes up to b5. And this is the moment, this deadlock position, as they're going blow for blow, parry for parry, dodge for dodge, technique for technique. White makes a small slip. White makes a small slip. h4. h4. And there's a brilliant tactic here. I don't see it. I don't see the brilliant move. Let's see, is it knight to... Is it knight to e4? Takes. I don't see the brilliant tactic. But black does. Black plays knight to e4. Sacrificing the steed. White takes e4. Black takes right back, opening the file for the rook, and now all the pieces flood in this deadlock position. So sharp. As the rook slides over, queen comes in. Best move takes. Queen tries to slide back over, but now the rook. What? And you can't even take the bishop. You can't even take the rook with the bishop. But the rook is coming in, and this was the only good move. The rook coming in from the outpost. King tries to slide over, but it's futile as the rook comes to f2, looking to deliver checkmate on g2. You're forced to take with the queen. Rook slides over. Queen obviously trying not to blunder your queen in one after such a fantastic game. King slides back over. Queen comes back, holds it down. Now we're just grabbing each of the pawns. This rook is now pinned to the king. You can obviously look to slide this rook over and just trade off even more pieces. We get a resignation. That is Deadlock Chess. Absolute cinema.